Howdy, I'm Dr. Shannon Deere. I'm the Assistant Dean for Graduate Programs at Mays Business School. It is my distinct honor to welcome you to Mays and congratulate you on your admissions into a world-class master's program. I know this journey is going to be challenging at many times, but I also believe it will be one of the most rewarding things you do. Throughout your time in the program, make sure you take time to reflect on how amazing it is that you get to set aside this time to learn so many new things. We don't have many periods in our lives like that. Your learning journey starts here with Mays MBA Prep. The materials in these modules are basic business concepts that you need to know. I have the privilege of embarking on this learning experience with you as your professor. Most of you have likely never been exposed to business content. And that's why we created the Mays MBA Prep. I designed the modules to help you with all of your courses. They're also designed so you can complete them at your own pace. You may need to watch videos multiple times. You may need to pause so you can process throughout. Or if you're learning something quickly, it comes naturally to you, you could even skip a video and go straight to the quiz, or watch a video at 1.5 or 2 times speed. The goal is for you to tailor the learning experience to meet your needs. Just remember, if you've skipped something or have watched it quickly and it's not clear, take some time and go back and watch it at regular speed. In this video, I want to walk you through a few things you can expect as you're completing the modules and give you a few tips and tricks for completing it. Let's look at the modules now. If you found this video, you probably already found this page of the MBA Prep material. After this introduction video, the first item that you have is a checklist. Let's click on that item. This document is a checklist for all of the modules you need to complete. Once you complete an item, you can just click on the box and it'll put a check mark there. If you prefer, you can print this document out and check each item off as you complete it manually. Here we have module, Business Math and Excel. Let's look at that module in eCampus so we can see what each of these items mean. The first thing we want to do is click in the folder for Business Math and Excel. When we do that, we'll see each of the items that are referenced on the checklist. The first thing the checklist says is download the note packet, so you'll want to click on that and get that Word document open for you. The note packet will be useful for taking notes on the videos that are provided for each module. For example, in this module, you have some blanks here. You'll fill in those blanks as I fill them in the videos. Let's go back to eCampus. Here you also have an Excel template for activities 1 and 2 of the module. The checklist will tell you to download that file, and then it will also tell you to open up the Activity 1 folder. This is the Activity 1 folder here. You can see a folder is marked with the folder icon here. A file is marked with an icon that looks like this. So we'll click in this Activity 1 folder. The first thing we have in the Activity 1 folder is Video 1. There are many ways that you can watch these videos. As I said in the introduction, you can even skip these videos if you feel comfortable enough with the content that you think you'll be successful on any quizzes that might cover that content. You can also watch the videos faster or slower. Let's click on this video here. All of the videos are on YouTube. So you'll use just the normal functionality that you would use on YouTube. You can make them full screen. You can change the settings. So you can watch the videos on 2 times speed if you're really comfortable with the content, or slow them down a little bit if you need to go a little bit slower. You can also watch the videos with closed captioning. The closed captioning does a pretty good job of capturing what I say in the video. Back on eCampus, attached with each video you have the script for the video. The script will not match perfectly what I say in the video, but it matches really close. So you can use the scripts in multiple ways. You could read through the script before watching the video. You could read through the script after watching the video. You could read through the script and decide you don't need to watch the video. Where I think the scripts will be most useful is if you've forgotten a concept and you need to go back, or you only want to read one part of the script just to get a quick note about a concept. Maybe you're on a quiz and you're stuck. The script could be useful for that as well. I've also included a description of the video to try to make sure that if you don't remember a concept, you know which video to find for that concept. And I've also included the runtime, so you can budget enough time for that video. Most of the videos are under 10 minutes. There are a couple of videos that are between 10 and 15 minutes, but the majority of them are around 5 to 10 minute videos. On eCampus, you also have practice problems. The practice problems are available for any quiz that has quantitative questions. So you won't have practice problems for a theory quiz, but you would have practice problems when there's an actual number problem you need to solve on a quiz. The practice problems will be posted after the applicable video, and it'll tell you which quiz it will help you to work through. Let's click on the practice problems. Within that folder, you'll have practice problems, and you'll also have the solutions to the practice problems. Please hear this advice. Do not look at the solutions until you've worked through the practice problems. I know that it's really tempting, especially when you're struggling through a problem, to look at the solutions, but I promise from all of the learning research that I've done that it's better to work through the problem even if you do it wrong and then grade your work with the solutions than it is to not work through the problem and just jump to the solutions. If you do the problem wrong, what you'll remember about that when you compare it to the solutions is how to do it right. You won't remember how to do it wrong. So take that chance, and even if you do a problem wrong, it's so much better than jumping to the solutions and just looking at those. You just won't get the same kind of practice that you will if you work the problem on your own. To navigate through the site, we can just go back to Activity 1 by clicking up here. You can actually expand this to see different components of the content. So if I wanted to go back to the bigger business, math, and Excel module, I would click that. If I just want to go back to the other Activity 1 content, I can click there. So after the practice problems, we have the quiz. Let's talk a little bit more about the quizzes. You'll just click this link here to take the quiz. Anytime you're going to take a quiz, this screen will pop up next. Let me tell you a few notes about the quizzes. Quizzes you can take as many times as you need in order to get a score of at least 80%. The quizzes are not timed, and again, you have unlimited attempts. In order to start the quiz, you'll just hit begin. You can always close out of a quiz and it won't count against you if you decide to open it and don't want to submit it at that time. After we hit begin, the quiz will pop up. Most of your quizzes are going to have 5 questions worth 1 point apiece. So in order to achieve 80%, you'll need to answer 4 of the 5 questions correctly. Your quizzes will be a combination of fill in the blank and multiple choice. You can see this is a fill in the blank quiz. Your questions that are quantitative, like this one, calculations, they will be fill in the blank. When you have a fill in the blank quiz, make sure you read these instructions carefully. It's going to be the same for every quiz as long as it's a dollar amount. There are some quizzes where the answer might be a percentage and then it tells you what to do, how many decimals to record. The solutions to the practice problems will also have a note that says, in order to put this into the quiz, format it in this way. So the format is just really typing in the raw number. Don't add any commas or dollar signs, just type in that number. This isn't the answer to this question, but I'm going to go ahead and just leave that there so I can show you how to submit the quiz. You can save your answers here individually, or you can just save and submit the whole quiz. Here it says I didn't answer these questions, which is a nice little warning. I don't care this time since I just want to show you how to submit the quiz. But to submit, you do have to go down here and click Save and Submit. Just saving your individual questions is not enough. You have to click Save and Submit, and you have to click OK here where it says, do you want to submit the assessment? If you don't want to submit the assessment, you can always click Cancel and go back. But if you want the system to actually grade the quiz, you do have to hit OK. It'll give you a little information about the quiz, and then it says click OK to review results. OK is in the bottom corner. Once I click OK, it'll show me the results, and it'll show me which questions I missed. You can see that with this red X over here. It'll also show me the answer that I submitted and that it was incorrect. So you'll know which questions you missed and the answer that you submitted when you missed that question, so you can check your work. You can also see your score up here. So it says your attempt score is 0 out of 5 in this case. Remember, you're trying to achieve at least a 4 out of 5 on all of the quizzes. Again, you do have an unlimited number of attempts to achieve that score. But if you've tried a quiz more than 2 or 3 times, I would really recommend that you stop working on that quiz and go to the discussion board to ask a question. Let's go to the discussion board now. You can find the discussion board in the left-hand menu. If you want to add a question, just open up the thread that says Questions on MBA Prep. You can click in here and then create a question like I did here. Questions on MBA Math and Excel module, Quiz 1, Question 1. Title it whatever you want, and one of your peers should be able to go in and answer that question. I'll also check the discussion board periodically to answer your questions as well. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you have them. Let's go back to the content. The modules do get more difficult as you go. If you have any background in business and Excel, they may seem fairly easy for you, but they do get a little bit harder as we go on. For those of you that don't have a background in business, math, or Excel, then these modules are going to be really important and maybe a little bit more challenging at first. The more you invest, the more successful and less stressed you will be in your courses. So please take the content seriously. We'll stop the video here. Good luck as you work your way through these materials. Remember to reach out for help. Your peers are going to be available on the discussion board. They'll probably have questions you can answer, and you'll have questions they can answer. They're going to be one of the most valuable resources to you throughout the entire program. You're going to learn so much from your classmates. Start reaching out to them now. You can also reach out to me, and I'm happy to help you as you go through this material. Gig 'em!